I feel like everywhere I go, people are asking what's going on with the latest with the gambling scandal in the NBA. So let me pass along exactly where that stands right now. A US Congressional Committee met with NBA officials yesterday in response to the indictments of Portland's coach Chauncey Billups and the Heat's guard Terry Rozier and the former player and coach Damon Jones. Members of the House Committee on Energy and Commerce had questions about the league's partnerships with sportsbooks and about measures taken to prevent the illegal use of non-public information. Damon Jones will face a judge in New York today. He is accused of sharing injury information on LeBron James for gambling purposes. And so when we have these kind of questions, we bring in Ryan Smith, who's our legal analyst extraordinaire, and it's been a long time. Ryan, good morning, and thank you for doing this. So what do you expect to happen? What should we be expecting to happen in court today with Damon Jones?
So, Greeny, today is Damon Jones's arraignment, and essentially that starts the clock for a number of things in his case. He's going to go in the courtroom. He'll be with his lawyer. He'll be identified by the judge. He'll probably waive the reading of the charges against him because he already knows them. And then at that point, he will be asked for a plea in this case. He's likely to plead not guilty. At that point, there becomes a discussion about bond, about bail, how he can be released and put up some money in order to be released while this whole thing is pending. But when I mention it starts the clock, it also starts things like discovery. It starts things like getting the evidence that the government has against Damon Jones to try to figure out what they're trying to say about him and how they can fight it. So for him, this is a big day. It's not only getting released, it's not only making the plea, it's not only being informed of all his rights, but it's I want the information from the government that they have against me with these allegations they're making.
Now, Chauncey Billups is involved in a similar but different situation. By now, people have read about it, this scheme to rig underground poker games. What should we be expecting his defense against those charges to be?
Yeah, it's early days, so he's got to get that information, and he gets arraigned right now, at least on November 24th. But assuming what we know right now, which are all allegations, I wouldn't be surprised if he starts arguing, I am not a part of the conspiracy. Now, think about that. You're talking about rigged poker games, and he's alleged to be the face card. He's alleged to be that draw that brings in the potential victims who the government says were defrauded. He might start saying, well, look, somebody called me and said, we're going to pay you to show up at a poker game. That, in some ways, is no different from somebody calling an athlete and saying, show up at a card signing. And so for him, maybe his defense is, hey, I was paid to show up at something. I didn't know about the scheme. I didn't know about all these other things. I didn't have any intent. And if you don't have any knowledge or intent of the scheme, you can argue that you're not a part of the conspiracy. I wonder if that will be what he argues.
And then there's Terry Rozier, who, like Billups, is on leave from the NBA right now. Rozier is accused of using insider information to influence bets on at least 7 games. What's the latest on his case?
So his case, he's scheduled to be arraigned in early December. And it's the same thing that happens with Billups and with Jones. He'll come in, he'll plead, most likely not guilty. He'll ask for a bond. He'll ask to be released. And then he gets that discovery. And his case, of course, is different. It's the games where he had inside information. The allegations against him are that he communicated that he was going to pull himself from a game, that bettors got that information, played the unders, and won money on that, and that defrauded the betting companies. So he's going to try to argue that, but he needs to get that evidence from the government beyond what we've seen in the indictments, and that's just scratching the surface. So in December, he'll get his day in court, he'll plead not guilty, and then his discovery process starts as well.
NBA,